Why is it that we resist change? Number one, we are too comfortable the way we are. And no one likes to make effort. So you prefer being the way you are. Number two, you're attached to the known. Who wants to go into unknown territory? So you maintain status quo, however negative it is, however it may be in your face. You don't want to accept it. You said, this is the way I've been living, this is the way I'll live, finish, that's it. So you resist change. Then there's the fear of the unknown. And that fear is a horrible thing to have. Because when you're full of fear, you suffer for things that you believe will happen in the future, most of which will not happen. Like every person who's afraid, oh, maybe I'll get cancer, doesn't get cancer. But he has already suffered the effects of having cancer without getting cancer. Isn't it terrible? There are people who say, oh, I don't know what will happen when I die. Fear of death. Like Shakespeare says, cowards die many times before their death. The brave die but once. Stubborn and non-thinking. This is a tamasic viewpoint. Even if the change is for the better, you resist it. Why? Just because this is the way I've lived. You may have lived in a slum all your life, and here is an opportunity to get out of the slum. Why don't you want it? And there is no higher purpose. This is the tragedy. All of us, the best and the worst of us, are just obsessed with thought of self. It's just I, me, myself. You refuse to think of anything beyond. And the day you start thinking of something, someone beyond yourself, that is the day you will grow. Now in the book, Ultimate Gift, which was then made into a movie. Incidentally, when I talk about movies, please don't get the impression that I do nothing but watch movies. In that, there is this billionaire who dies. And all his family members come because they want a share of the billions. And they all go back disappointed because they all get very little. And there is this grandson who's thoroughly spoilt, who's lived a whole life based on entitlement. He comes late to his funeral. And he goes to the lawyer's office, puts his feet up on the table most disrespectfully. This is his attitude. But the grandfather has noticed some potential in this boy. So the lawyer says, you're different. And the grandson says, even when he was living, he had no particular love for me. Now after his death, I don't expect anything from him. So the lawyer says, no, you're different. Your grandfather has left something very different for you. And so he has to go through certain tests before he gets money. But the first thing that happens is all his privileges are withdrawn. His bank account is not accessible, his credit cards have gone, and he has to take a flight from wherever he is to some other place. And he's used to traveling first class, one particular seat. If he doesn't get that seat, he doesn't fly. So he doesn't even look at the boarding pass. He just goes and sits on that seat. And suddenly, the crew member comes and says, sorry, sir, coach class. He gets the shock of his life. And the rest of the movie is about his experiences. Now, one day, he's sitting in the park, and he sees a little girl, 8-year-old girl, with her mother. And the 8-year-old girl is suffering from cancer, and the mother is struggling to find the financial resources to treat this child. And when he sees that child, for the first time in his life, his attitude shifts from this entitlement, from taking, grabbing, feeling that the whole world has been created only to serve me, to giving, serving, sharing. That day, he goes to the board of trustees of his grandfather's estate and says, I have a project to do service, and I want $300 million from you. So they ask him, but the project is of $400 million, and you're asking for 300. Where are you going to get the rest? He says, I'm going to give it. Just the day before, he has got a check of $100 million from his grandfather's estate for having passed so many tests. You know what he's done? The entire amount that he has inherited, he now pledges to do service. That moment, all the grandfather's billions come to him. So therefore, this is what we're talking about, a shift of attitude. No higher purpose. Do you have a higher purpose? It's something you must question. Am I thinking of something beyond myself? Not because the world needs your service. The world, the universe is too large to need your service or mine. So it's not about somebody needing you. It's about the fact that you need to do service if you want to realize your potential. Therefore, view it as a very personal thing. I need to find something, then you transform. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was an ordinary person until he fixed the goal of the nation. Then he transformed into a Mahatma. And that capability every one of us has. You don't need to be brilliant. You don't need to have a high IQ. You don't need to be greatly talented. You simply need to have the vision of something beyond you.